Welcome to Gamer's Games. I'm Gamer, and these are my games. Tune in and see this week's new video. Thanks. Hey everybody, welcome back. So, as you can tell, the echo is still here. At least I can hear it. I don't know if y'all can. So the room is still bare, but we are filling it up with games already. So as I touched on my first video of 22, I sold all my video games for a whopping $7,900. And I mean everything. Everything except for my controller with my name on it and my external hard drive for my Xbox One. I sold everything else. So, still kind of painful to say. I miss it as far as what I had acquired, but I don't have seller's remorse. I was able to do a lot of good for myself and my family with it. Wasn't able to buy a car. Well, I'd already bought a Jeep, a $500 Jeep, but I was able to, get it, running a little better and everything. And that's my daily driver now. Saves a little bit of fuel. So I guess I did kind of sort of buy a car. I'm not as good as Mr. Rightway though. That man got two really nice cars, but he had a lot better collection, I'm sure. Mine's a bunch of sports games, was. So today we're going to go over all the stuff I picked up with that money early in December to current and what we're going to do moving forward. So when I got the money, like I said, I didn't go instantly out and buy whatever games I wanted. I sat on it for about a week. And I went to a pawn shop here in my town, and they had a couple of just oddball stuff, nothing great. A handful of PSP games, a couple of advanced games, stuff like that. And they were all pretty cheap, like $2 or $3 a piece. And I bought all that and a couple others. I think some PS4 games. Well, I gave the PSPs and stuff to Andy because he was going to help me flip a few things and make some money. Excuse me. So I went to the next pawn shop and they had a Switch Lite. With a game, they were asking, I think, $140. At the time, man, it was 3 weeks before Christmas. I said, done. I'm going to buy it. I'm going to flip it before Christmas, make some kid's day, make their parents' day because they're going to get it cheaper than GameStop. I'm that kind of guy. I can do this. I can be a reseller, even though I don't have Facebook Marketplace. Because I got Andy. Andy's a very valuable asset to the gaming community in our area. So I picked it up. We agreed on a price of $140 with the game, tax and all out the door. So I left. I went to another pawn shop, and they had one Switch Lite, that is, with no charger. And they said, well, we'll do $140 on it. Kind of give me a better deal than that. Well, they had Zelda game, Mario Kart 8, and something else, Jump Force. And he's like, look, we'll give you the system and all three games for $200. So there we go. That's a good deal. Well, they also had this in the case. Super Nintendo, everything's there, 2 controllers, the original batteries, or wall charger, and then the or power source, not charger, and then the AV cable was new, but it also comes with Donkey Kong Country. So they said we'll do $260 for the Switch Lite, the 3 big games, and then the Super. Well, I pulled up my wallet, and cash that I had on hand at the time was $243. And they said, we'll take it. So I'm in this Super with Donkey Kong Country, the first one, for $43, which this is, it was normally like a $12 game. But with holidays, it jumped up to like 17 or 20, 23, something like that. I don't know. 2 controllers both work. And then the system, of course, which works. So I was like, okay, I'll do that. If you're happy with $243, I'll do it. So I picked up that. That's number 1 in the collection as far as retro games at the time. In fact, yeah, it still is for the most part. So I left. I went to another pawn shop and they had a switch slot. They were just everywhere. The first one I picked up was, I think it was actually this one here. I got a yellow switch slot, and everything works on it. I've been trying to keep it charged, playing it and stuff. I've got 4 games over here. Get this thing going here. Yeah. So everything's good on it. And I actually put the charger with one of the other ones, and I'll tell you that in a sec. Almost dropped it. So that's the first one I picked up. The second one I picked up was the was a turquoise one, and then the third one I picked up was the darker blue, almost like a purple. So he agreed to 140 with one game out of his entire glass cabinet, which he had 8 or 9 games in there. And I picked out Super Mario Odyssey. So I was like, okay, that's definitely worth 140. Okay, so I'm golden. So I turn around, and he had a PS4 on the shelf with a wireless controller, no games and stuff like that. And I asked him, I said, what are you asking on it? He said, well, I just got it in. I haven't even had a chance to clean it. I plugged it up and it's working, so I'm just gonna let it go. I said, well, can we try a disc just to make sure? He said, yeah. So put a disc in there. It worked just fine. Pull the disc out, put it back on the shelf. And he agreed to $200. Had everything but the charger cord for the controller, which was good. And it was a 1 terabyte slim PS4. It wasn't the Pro or nothing, but still a really good deal for $200. In my book, as far as a buyer, I'm not going to go to GameStop and buy it for $350, $400, whatever they're charging for now, $325, I don't know. But for $200, it's a really good buy. And I was thinking, same mindset with the Switch Lights. I'll buy it, clean it up a little bit, have Andy put it on Facebook, and surely it'll sell before Christmas. Because I picked up 3 games. Actually, I may have picked up 3 games from them. It's been a long month. But it was the Dwarves, Street Fighter, what is it, 5 or 7, whatever the one is for PS4, I'm not sure. And then another game, I forget it. But they were titles, not, sports, so they was hopefully a little more desirable for some people. And he said, I'll do 200 with that. So we're at whatever on, or 140 on the Switch Lite. And I was like, okay, so we're at 340. Well, I had a stack of games for Xbox One and things along that line, because I bought an Xbox One X like a couple of days prior at GameStop, so I'd have something to play on. And I bought Red Dead 2 and a couple others. And he said, okay, yeah, we'll do 400 on everything. The stack of games, Switch Lite, and the PS4. I was like, okay. I said, well, you have a whole bunch of other games down here. I had a couple Advance, I think maybe a Game Boy. No, it was just 2 Game Boy Advance games, Spider-Man and something else. But he had 7 more Switch games. All had the cases. Not really the Zelda and Mario price as far as value, but like Baldur's Gate, a couple others. And then, let's see here, in fact, Neverwinter Nights Enchanted Edition, if I could talk. There's Planescape Torment Enhanced Edition and Icewind Dale. Civilization 6. And then this one I got from the first pawn shop with the yellow one. So we agreed on all 7 games at $100. Most of them were valued at $20 or so, $25, and he had them marked all at $19 to $29. So I was thinking, man, it's $140 his value. And I picked everything up for $500 right then. Tax and all out the door, nothing over as far as that. I guess they factored that in. So again, thinking I can flip all this. I've got 3 Switch lots at this point. I've got 12 games at that point. And I'm thinking, man, I'm set up for a really good Christmas. I can undercut pawn shops and GameStop and Game Exchange and everybody, and I can be that guy to help everybody out as far as a lesser price overall, kind of putting this stuff together. And Andy, he took it to work. He put it on Facebook, and of course, as Facebook goes, you have people that, oh, I'll take that PS4 with those 3 games and a wireless controller that is ready to go for. And I was asking $300 at first, and Andy's like, man, I don't know if you're going to sell it for $300. And they were trading in for just a system for $250 at GameStop. I said, man, okay. I said, we'll do $250. But anything less than that, and I'm losing money. At least at $250, I'm making like $15. So we dropped it to $250. This lady said she'd take it, and then she backed out, or postponed and then backed out. And I was like, okay, well then the Switch lots. He had a lot of people interested at work. They have kids and things like that. And my thought was put 1 big game with each Switch lot, and then just 3 random games after that. Whoever gets Zelda gets the baseball game, something like that. So that way it would be kind of fair as far as value. And I was asking $2.25 on those, which is barely, maybe making $25 total on each sale. But after running and everything, that was maybe making about $50 profit after fuel and everything. So I bought all this stuff, and after probably 3 weeks, Christmas had come, and I think it was the Thursday actually before Christmas. Went into my local GameStop, and they said, we have a PS5 bundle. It comes with the PS5, an extra controller, like a year of PlayStation Plus, and maybe a game, I don't remember, for $750. Or I'm sorry, $699 maybe. I don't remember. Something like that. And I was like, man, after tax and all, you're looking at $8. If I traded in all that stuff that Andy's got, I could make this happen. But I haven't been a PlayStation guy since PS2. But something, maybe I could get this and just instantly turn around and make my money on something, on 1 big item instead of 4 or 5 small items. And after, thinking about it more, and then Andy wasn't even at home for me to get the stuff, I was like, I'm glad he wasn't. I could slow my thought process down. I was like, okay, let's just wait. If I can make cash on this and get my cash back, I'll go buy something else that I want. And so at that point, I come back home, still had no luck, buying or selling anything. But I did pick up a few more things. I picked up MTX Moto Tracks for PS2. Now it's not complete. It's missing the book. But it was $1. The pawn shop where I picked up the Blue Switch lot, they actually have very few older games. But they had this and then a DDR game for Xbox. The older games are typically $1. So, sorry. So I picked up Red Dead 2 at the pawn shop over with the PS4 and stuff. I picked up Red Dead Redemption, the Game of the Year edition, at GameStop. They actually mismarked it. It was marked $10, and they're going for $17. But I guess he'd just taken it in or whatnot. So they sold that to me. I did pick up Far Cry 5 because it's a really good game that I enjoy playing. I picked it up at Walmart. It was $15 new. Fallout New Vegas. It was, of course, Ultimate Edition. I want to say it was $11 or $7, something like that. It was cheap. trying to rebuild some of those games that I played somewhat often, or even just occasionally, just because I had nothing. Yeah. Um, let's see here. I did. Okay, so I guess that was all I had at the time. Of course, I had my Xbox Live stuff that was still on my hard drive. So I picked up these 4 games, and of course, I had the Xbox One X. At that point, it was about the week after Christmas, maybe even a little longer, before the end of December though. And my son called me. He said, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm heading home. Andy's going to swing by. We were making a deal on some other stuff." He said, "Okay, well, I've got some information for you. GameStop has Xbox Series X's in stock, and they're giving 200 and or $284 store credit or something like that for Xbox One X's." I was like, "Okay, so I can get the Series X, get rid of the One X." That's what I wanted initially, was a Series X. I was going to go top of the line for the current time. And, I had my other one maybe a month. So Andy actually called GameStop to see if they would give me a refund on mine. And I bought the 2-year warranty and everything to kind of cover myself. And the guy said, "If you have your receipt, we can probably do a chargeback as far as a gift." I was like, "Sweet. I mean, if that's what's happening, then that's great." So I loaded everything up. Andy had brought the PS4, all 3 Switch Lites. Of course, the Super they wouldn't take, but he brought all that back. So I left the Super here. They won't take Switch Lites without a charger, so I was able to keep one of those. Some of those games were imports; they couldn't take those. Then the sports game and Civilization, they're not going to give it a couple bucks for, and I'd rather play them. So all in all, and let's see here if I can pull up my pictures without disturbing the video here. All in all, I traded everything in, and I got $1,116.44. Hopefully y'all can see that. So that was counting my refund on my Xbox One X with a 2-year warranty refunded. That was $480. The PS4 traded in, just the system, for $250. The 3 games traded in for another $20 or so. The Switch Lites traded in for $110 each. And then the games, you may have seen the prices in some of the picture there. Some of the games traded in for $20, $25 a piece, the ones that they could take. So, like I said, I had $1,100, almost $1,200, or a little over 11 actually, not close to 12. And they had these bundle deals for an Xbox Series X. So I got it. Of course. So I bought one. My son was able to get one. But with my extra credit, I bought a bunch of games. So the bundle deal was Far Cry 6, NBA 2K22, Call of Duty Vanguard, and the system, of course, with a $50 gift card. And then you get the necklace for Halo Infinite, the little dog tag set. You get all that for $650. So the system's $5 instantly. These 3 games were normally, $60 a piece, but they were on sale for $30. So that's $100. And then, of course, a $50 gift card, puts you right at the $650 mark. So I was like, okay, that's not bad. $650. It's cheaper than the PS5. They did not have controllers in stock, which I already had my orange and blue one here. So I was, man, I'm dumb if I don't do it. So I bought it, got those 3 games. Let's see here. Put these others up before I get all confused and show you twice. I bought Halo Infinite. Now, it goes back to the retro games and stuff. Really, really, really missed certain games, and now I get to play them. I don't have to have a PS2 to play them. I can play them right on my Xbox. So I got this. I played Vice City. Man, I wish I had my old system to show how many hours. And then Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Hundreds of hours, thousands of hours, multiple thousands of hours. Yeah, definitely. Spyro, again, goes back to the retro stuff. I can play the old school fun games. Same thing with Crash. I love Crash Bandicoot and Warped especially. That's one of my favorite games. I bought Rise Legendary Edition. I actually bought Rise Day 1 edition with my original Xbox One back in 13. And it was $60. And I was pissed because there's 8 levels, and I beat all 8 levels on hard, or whatever the hardest difficulty was or is, in like an hour each. I was, man, that's it. You know, because I hit a point, die, okay, I learned this, go around, go a little slow. In like 8 hours, I beat the entire game. I was pissed. I wanted a little bit of replayability, but that one was like $3, $3.99, $2.99. So I picked that up. Half Price Books, went down there with my wife and my son. Of course, got Hertz Donuts in Frisco, Texas. Oh my God, get you Hertz Donuts. Not sponsored, but love them. Got Bioshock Collection. It was only $14.99, so it wasn't bad. So I was really happy to pick that up. And then one that I picked up, Skyrim Anniversary Edition. I could have bought whatever offline and gotten it, but as a collector, previously starting a new collection, everybody likes the physical copies as far as collectors. So that's where my collection is currently. We're at 5, 10, 15, 20 games. 20 games is all I own, opposed to 1,600. That's a far cry away. Get it? Far cry. But with that being said, we have the means currently to expand. When we get to a point where I'm full again, I mean, yeah, I'm going to resell. I think with this collection, though, instead of having everything out and on shelves and displayed and all that, which is really nice, I took the time to keep it nice. I'm going to probably just keep them in totes. Like I've got, this stuff stays in my living room. This is what I keep everything in just because I'm playing it, you know. Keep it in the living room, slide it up under the TV stand, and then it's kind of out of the way. In fact, my switch light needs to go in there. So thanks for tuning in. It was a very long video, trying to get everybody caught up, 24 minutes right now. I just want to share as much as possible with you as far as how the collection's regrowing. Like I say, here in probably another week or two, we're going to get back out on, hit those thrift stores, hit those Goodwills and the pawn shops, and we'll see what we can pick up. So we'll see y'all next video. Have a good one.